undervaluing yourself can be one of the most invisible yet impactful barriers to personal growth and fulfillment. Often, it manifests in subtle ways that we may not even recognize: hesitation to speak up, an automatic deflection of compliments, or a constant tendency to prioritize others' needs over our own. These behaviors, while seemingly minor, reflect a deeper misunderstanding of our inherent worth and potential. Over time, undervaluing yourself can erode confidence, limit opportunities, and keep you from living a life aligned with your true capabilities. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in rationality, resilience, and self-awareness, offers a powerful framework for identifying and addressing this tendency. Unlike the societal pressures that often tie our value to external achievements, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of inner strength, self-respect, and living in accordance with our principles. It teaches us that recognizing and honoring our worth is not an act of arrogance, but a commitment to living authentically. Why do so many of us undervalue ourselves without realizing it? The reasons are as varied as they are complex. Cultural conditioning, past experiences, or even fear of judgment can contribute to a habit of shrinking our accomplishments or silencing our voices. We may believe that humility means downplaying our abilities, or that setting boundaries risks conflict or rejection. These misconceptions, however, can trap us in patterns of self-doubt and prevent us from fully embracing our potential. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher emperor, reminds us that our worth is independent of Athenians, the approval of such men, who do not even stand well in their own eyes, has no value for us. This wisdom encourages us to reflect on the unique qualities, experiences, and efforts that define our value. By doing so, we shift from seeking validation externally to building confidence rooted in self-awareness and personal integrity. Recognizing the signs of undervaluation is the first step toward change. These signs are not always glaring. They can be as simple as apologizing unnecessarily, avoiding risks out of fear of failure, or dismissing your own achievements as luck or not a big deal. Over time, these small acts of self-doubt accumulate, shaping the way we see ourselves and the opportunities we believe we deserve. The good news is that undervaluing yourself is not an irreversible condition. With awareness, reflection, and intentional action, you can begin to rewrite the narrative you hold about your worth. Stoicism provides a practical toolkit for this journey, helping you align your thoughts and actions with your own value. Whether it's through accepting compliments gracefully, setting firm boundaries, or trusting your instincts, every step you take valuing yourself is a step toward a more empowered and authentic life. In this exploration, we'll uncover 13 signs that you might be undervaluing yourself, paired with Stoic insights to help you shift your mindset and embrace your worth. Remember, recognizing your value is not just about personal growth. It's about living a life of purpose, resilience, and integrity, in harmony with the unique gifts you bring to the world. You dismiss compliments. Dismissing compliments is one of the most subtle ways people undervalue themselves. It often feels harmless, even polite, but consistently downplaying or rejecting praise can signal a deeper discomfort with recognizing your own worth. Whether you deflect compliments with self-deprecating humor, attribute your achievements to external factors, or outright deny their validity, this habit can erode your confidence over time and reinforce the belief that you are not deserving of acknowledgement. The psychology behind dismissing compliments. Why do so many of us struggle to accept compliments? The reasons often stem from a mix of societal conditioning, personal insecurities, and fear of appearing arrogant. In many cultures, is valued as a virtue, and people are taught from a young age not to brag or draw too much attention to themselves. While humility has its place, there is a fine line between being humble and undervaluing your contributions. For example, if someone praises you for a well-executed presentation, and your response is, "Oh, it was nothing," Anyone could have done it. You're not just deflecting the compliment, you're invalidating your own effort and skill. Over time, this behavior can become a reflex, making it difficult to internalize positive feedback and genuinely recognize your accomplishments. Stoic wisdom on acknowledging praise. The Stoics teach us to view praise and criticism with equanimity. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not waste the remaining part of your life in about others' opinions, but instead look to your own mind to know what is truly good and worthy. This perspective encourages us to accept compliments not as a measure of our worth, but as a reflection of the truth. If someone acknowledges your hard work or talent, dismissing it does not make you more virtuous. It only obscures the reality of your contribution. Seneca offers another valuable insight. He who is brave is free. In this context, bravery means having the courage to embrace youngs without fear of judgment. Accepting compliments with grace requires confidence and self-awareness. It is not arrogance, but a balanced recognition of your efforts and abilities. The impact of dismissing compliments, deflections might seem trivial, but it can have far-reaching consequences for your self-esteem and relationships. Here are some of the ways this behavior affects and those around you eroding self-worth. Repeatedly rejecting praise reinforces the belief you are not deserving of acknowledgement. This can create a cycle of self-doubt and undervaluation. Undermining relationships. When you dismiss compliments, it can make others feel that their words are unappreciated or invalid. Over time, they may hesitate to offer praise or recognition. Limiting opportunities. People who deflect praise often struggle to themselves in professional or personal settings. This can lead to missed opportunities for growth, recognition, or advancement. Perpetuating negative self-talk. The habit of dismissing compliments often goes hand in hand with a critical inner dialogue. By focusing on perceived flaws instead of strengths, you reinforce a negative self-image. Strategies to embrace compliments. If you recognize yourself in these patterns, it's important to take steps to break the cycle and learn to accept compliments with gratitude and confidence. Here are practical strategies to help you. Practice mindful responses. When someone offers a compliment, pause before responding. A simple "thank you" is often the best reply. It acknowledges the compliment without deflecting or diminishing it. Reflect on your achievements. Spend time reflecting on the moments when you've made a meaningful impact. By recognizing your own contributions, you'll find it easier to accept others' recognition. Challenge negative self-talk. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise when you receive a compliment. If your inner voice tries to downplay the praise, counter it with evidence of your effort and ability. Reframe compliments as gifts. View compliments as gifts from others. Just as you would reject a physical gift, allow yourself to accept verbal praise graciously and with gratitude. Seek feedback regularly. Actively seeking feedback sources can help you develop a more balanced view of your strengths and areas for growth. Over time, this practice builds confidence and reduces the instinct to deflect praise. Learning to accept compliments is a journey of self-discovery and growth. It requires shifting your mindset from one of self-doubt to one of self-appreciation. By embracing the truth behind others' praise and it with your own awareness of your worth, you cultivate a sense of confidence and authenticity. Stoicism teaches us that our value is not determined by external validation, but by living in accordance with our principles. Accepting compliments with grace is not at seeing cruel, but about honoring the truth of your efforts and contributions. As you practice this, you'll find it easier to acknowledge your worth, strewn your relationships, and pursue your goals with renewed self-assurance. Number 2, you apologize excessively is an essential social skill that helps maintain relationships and demonstrates accountability. However, excessive apologizing often reflects an underlying struggle with self-worth. When you find yourself apologizing for things that don't earn an apology or constantly saying sorry as a reflex, It's worth examining why this habit has forming. It might be affecting your confidence, relationships, and overall well-being. The root causes of excessive apologizing can stem from various emotional and psychological factors. Understanding these root causes is the first step toward addressing the habiting fear of conflicting. Many people apologize excessively to avoid or diffuse potential conflict. This behavior often develops in childhood, grew up in an environment where disagreements were met with anger or punishment. Low self-esteem. Those who struggle with self-worth may feel their presence or actions are inherently burdensome, leading them to apologize preemptively to mitigate perceived faults. Cultural or social conditioning. In some cultures or social contexts, apologizing is encouraged as a sign of politeness, deference. While this can foster harmony, it may also reinforce unnecessary apologies for situations that don't warrant them. Perfectionism. Perfectionists often hold themselves to unrealistic standards and apologize for perceived shortcomings, even when they've done nothing wrong. Empathy overload. Highly empathetic individuals may apologize because they are overly attuned to others' feelings and assume responsibility for any discomfort, even if it's unwarranted. Stoic insights on apologies and responsibility offers valuable guidance for understanding the balance between accountability and unnecessary apologizing. Epictetus teaches us it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. This invites us to examine whether our apologies stem from genuine accountability or distorted perceptions of our impact on others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to focus on what lies within our control. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Apologizing for things beyond your control, such as someone else's mood or the weather, serves no purpose and detracts from your confidence and clarity. Recognizing when apologies are excessive, distinguishing between necessary and excessive apologies is crucial for developing healthier communication habits. Here are common signs of over-apologizing. Apologizing for existing. If you frequently say, "sorry," for things like bumping one in a crowded space or asking a question during a meeting, you may be apologizing for simply taking up spacing for others' actions. Taking responsibility for someone else's behavior, such as saying, "I'm sorry my friend was late," reflects a missplit sense of accountability. Apologizing for natural needs. Apologies for basic human needs, like needing help or expressing an opinion, indicates a tendency to undervalue your rights and contributions. Prefacing statements with "sorry." If you often start sentences with "sorry but," or "I'm sorry to bother you, but," it's worth exploring why you feel the need to soften your presence requests. Apologizing without awareness. Over-apologizers often use "sorry" as even when it's unnecessary or unrelated to the situation. The impact of excessive apologizing. While apologizing is a valuable social skill, apologizing can have unintended consequences that undermine your confidence and relationships. Eroding self-confidence. Constantly apologizing reinforces the belief that you are at fault or inadequate, leading to diminished self-esteem. Reducing credibility. Excessive apologies can make you appear unsure of yourself, causing others to take your words or actions less seriously. Shifting responsibility. Apologizing for things outside your control absolves of their accountability and places unnecessary burdens on you. Creating imbalanced relationships. Over-apologizing can set a precedent where others expect you to take responsibility for situations, fostering unhealthy dynamics. Strategies to break the habit of over-apologizing. Overcoming excessive apologizing requires self-awareness and intentional practice. Here are strategies to help you develop communication habits. Pause before apologizing. Before saying "sorry," pause to evaluate whether an apology is necessary. Ask yourself, am I genuinely at fault, or is this beyond my control? Replace "sorry" with attitude instead of apologizing. Express gratitude when appropriate. For example, say, "thank you for waiting," instead of "I'm sorry being late." Practice assertive communication. Assertiveness involves expressing your needs clearly without apologizing unnecessarily. For instance, Instead of saying, "Sorry, can I ask a question?" say, "I have a question I'd like to ask." Acknowledge your rights. Remind yourself that you have the right to express opinions, ask for help, and take up space without feeling the need to apologize. Seek feedback. Ask trusted friends or colleagues to point out instances where you apologize unnecessarily. Their observations can help you identify petty behavior. Use positive affirmations. Reinforce your self-worth affirmations like, "He deserved to be here," or "My contributions are valuable." Over time, this practice can reduce the instinct to over-apologize. Excessive apologizing is a habit that can subtly undermine your self-esteem and relationships, but it's one that can be unlearned with time and intention. By adopting Stoic principles and practicing a strict communication, you can strike a balance between accountability and self-respect. Stoicism teaches us that our value is not diminished by our mistakes or others' perceptions. By embracing this perspective, you can transform excessive apologies into opportunities for growth, gratitude, and authenticity. Over time, you'll develop the confidence to stand firm in your worth and express yourself with clarity and conviction. Number 3, you avoid taking credit. Avoiding credit for your accomplishments may seem like an act of humility, but when it becomes a habit, it can reflect a deeper pattern of undervaluing yourself. By consistently downplaying your contributions or attributing them solely to external factors like luck or others' efforts, you deny yourself the opportunity to acknowledge your hard work, skills, and achievements. Over time, this can erode your confidence, limit your growth, and diminish how others perceive your value. The reasons behind avoiding credit. Fear of seeming arrogant. Many people equate taking credit with boasting or arrogance. While humility is a virtue, it's important to recognize that acknowledging your efforts is not the same as bragging. It's a way to honor the energy and dedication in your goals. Cultural conditioning. In some cultures, downplaying individual achievements is encouraged to promote collective harmony. While this fosters teamwork, it can also discourage individuals from celebrating their successes. Imposter syndrome. Those who struggle with imposter syndrome, their achievements are due to luck, timing, or the help of others, rather than their own competence. This mindset can prevent them from taking ownership of their success. Low self-esteem. If you struggle with self-worth, you may genuinely believe that your contributions are insignificant or unworthy of recognition. Desire to avoid attention. Some people avoid credit because they fear scrutiny or responsibilities that may come with it. By staying in the background, they feel safer but miss opportunities for wisdom on acknowledging your contributions. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living authentically and recognizing the role of effort and intention in shaping our lives. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What's in the way becomes the way. By taking credit for your efforts, you not only honor your journey, but also pave the way for further growth and opportunities. Seneca also advises us to find balance in our self-perception. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Part of this enjoyment involves recognizing and appreciating your accomplishments in the moment, without fear of judgment or comparison. Avoiding credit may feel like humility in the moment, but over time, it can hold you back from realizing your full potential. By learning to embrace your accomplishments with grace and confidence, you not only strengthen your self-esteem, but also create opportunities for further growth and success. Stoicism reminds us that acknowledging our efforts, not vanity, but an essential part of living authentically. By recognizing the value of your contributions, you align your actions with your principles and inspire others to do the same. Taking credit is not just about celebrating success. It's about honoring the journey that brought you there and paving the way for future achievements. You overextend yourself, overextending yourself, constantly saying wise to every request, taking on more than you can handle, and neglecting your own needs, is a subtle yet pervasive way of undervaluing your time, energy, and boundaries. While it often stems from a desire to help others or be seen as reliable, This habit can lead to burnout, resentment, and a diminished sense of self-worth. Recognizing when you are overextending yourself and learning to set healthy limits are crucial steps toward reclaiming balance and self-respect. The root causes of overextending yourself: fear of disappointing others. Many people overextend themselves because they're letting others down or being perceived as selfish. This often leads to prioritizing others over your own desire for validation. For some, constantly taking on responsibilities is a way to quadruple or feel veiled. The more you do for others, the more you hope to be appreciated, but this can come at the expense of your well-being. Difficulty setting boundaries. A lack of clear boundaries can make it to say no when asked for help. Over time, this can lead to feeling overwhelmed and undervalued. Cultural or societal expectations. In some cultures or communities, self-sacrifice and overachievement are praised, making it difficult to step back without feeling guilty. Overinflated sense of responsibility. Some individuals feel they must fix every problem or take on every task, believing that others can't manage without them. The impact of overextending yourself. Constrict of yourself then can have significant physical, emotional, and relational consequences. Burnout. Overcommitting leaves little time for rest and self-care, leading to exhaustion and diminished productivity. Resentment. When you prioritize others' needs over your own, you may feel unappreciated or taken for granted, which can strain relationships. Decreased self-worth. By consistently putting others first, you see your message that your needs and time are less important. Loss of focus. Taking on too many commitments can scatter your attention and energy, making it difficult to excel in any one area. Stoic insights on balance and boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize what truly matters on what lies within our control. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you seek tranquility, do less. This doesn't mean avoiding responsibilities, but rather being deliberate about where you invest your energy. Epictetus also emphasizes the importance of respuskik. Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Reckoning limits and honoring your boundaries is a form of self-respect and a way to live in alignment with your values. Strategies to stop overextending yourself. Break the habit of overextending yourself requires intentional effort and a commitment to valuing your time and energy. Here are some practical steps of learn to say gracefully. Saying no doesn't mean you're unkind or unwilling to help. It's about recognizing your limits and protecting your well-being. For example, instead of saying, "I'll do it," try, "I'd love to help, but I'm at capacity right now." Set clear boundaries. Establish clear boundaries around your time and energy. Communicate these boundaries to others and stick to them. For instance, if evenings are your time for rest, let colleagues know you won't respond to work mails after a certain hour. Prioritize your commitments. Use the Stoic practice of focusing on what truly matters. Make a list of your top priorities and evaluate new requests against them. If a request doesn't align with your priorities, it's okay to decline. Delegate when possible. Recognize that you don't do everything yourself. Delegate tasks to others who are capable, whether at work or at home. This not only lightens your load, but also empowers. Practice self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your commitments and evaluate they align with your values and goals. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to or because I feel I have to? Embrace imperfection. Let go of the need to do everything perfectly. Accepting that good enough is often sufficient, you release unnecessary pressure and focus on what truly matters. Overextending yourself may seem noble in the short term, but it often leads to burnout and a diminished sense of self-worth. By setting boundaries, prioritizing your commitments, and embracing the wisdom of Stoicism, you can create a life that balances helping others with honoring your own needs. Ultimately, saying no to what doesn't serve you is saying yes to your well-being. By valuing your time and energy, you not only enhance your own quality of living, set an example for others to do the same. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself is the foundation for showing up fully and authentically in every aspect of your life. Number 5. You fear asserting boundaries. Fearing to assert boundaries is a common yet often overlooked way of undervaluing yourself. Boundaries are the invisible lines that divisible voids and limits, ensuring that your time, energy, and emotions are protected. When you struggle to assert these boundaries, you send a message to yourself and others that your needs are secondary, which can lead to burnout, resentment, and a diminished sense of self-worth. The runes of boundary setting fears. Fear of conflict. Many people avoid setting boundaries because they fear it will lead to arguments or tension. This often stems from past experiences where speaking up resulted in negative consequences. Desire for approval. A deep-seated need for acceptance can make at first boundaries. Saying no might feel like risking rejection or disappointing others. Guilt or obligation. You may feel guilty about prioritizing your needs over others, or believe it's your responsibility to accommodate everyone else's desires, even at your own expense. Low self-esteem. Struggling with self-worth can lead to internal beliefs that your needs and feelings are less important than those of others. Cultural or familial conditioning. In some cultures or families, prioritizing others is ingrained as a virtue, making boundary setting selfish or disrespectful. Stoic insights on boundaries. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self, aligning our actions with our values. Epictetus reminds us, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Setting boundaries is not about being selfish, but about staying true to who you are and protecting what matters most. Marcus Aurelius advises, do not waste your life in speculating about others, unless it be to advance some common good. This was the importance of focusing your energy on what aligns with your purpose and values rather than being consumed by others' expectations. Fearing to assert boundaries often stems from a place undervaluing your needs and prioritizing others at your expense. By learning to set and maintain boundaries, you honor your time, energy, and well-being, creating space for personal growth and meaningful relationships. Stoicism teaches us to align our actions with our values and focus on what lies within our control. Asserting boundaries is not just about protecting yourself, but also about living authentically and respecting the balance between giving and preserving. Over time, boundary setting becomes a powerful act of respect that enriches every aspect of your life. Number 6. You constantly compare yourself to others. Constantly comparing yourself to others is a subtle yet insidious way of undervaluing yourself. This habit often leads to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, or dissatisfaction, as you measure your worth against external standards rather than focusing on your unique journey. While some comparisons can inspire growth, unchecked and frequent comparisons can erode your confidence and rob you of joy. The root causes of comparisons. Understanding why we compare ourselves to others is crucial for breaking free from this habit. Common causes include cultural and societal expectations. From an early age, society conditions us to compete and rank ourselves based on achievements, appearances, or possessions. Social media amplifies this by presenting curated versions of others' lives, making comparisons almost inevitable. Insecurity or low self-esteem. When you're unsure of your worth, you may look to others for validation. Seeing someone else's success can feel like confirmation of your own inadequacy. Fear of missing out. The fear that you're falling behind or missing opportunities can lead you to compare your path to someone else's, even if your goals and circumstances are completely different. Perfectionism. Perfectionists often hold themselves to unrealistic standards and compare their progress to others who appear to have achieved perfection. Lack of direction. Without clear personal goals, it's easy to measure your progress against others rather than focusing on your own values and aspirations. The impact of constant comparisons. While comparisons can sometimes motivate, they often do more harm than good. Here are some of the negative effects. Erosion of confidence. When you focus on others' strengths, you may overlook your own, leading to feelings of inadequacy. Reduced gratitude. Comparisons shift your attention away from what you have, making it difficult to appreciate your blessings and achievements. Increased anxiety and stress. The constant pressure to measure up can lead to chronic stress, as you feel you're never good enough. Unrealistic expectations. Comparing yourself to someone else's curated or exaggerated successes can set unattainable standards, further perpetuating dissatisfaction. Strained relationships. Jealousy or resentment toward those you compare yourself to can damage friendships or family connections. Stoic wisdom on comparisons. Stoicism offers valuable guidance for overcoming the habit of comparing yourself to others. The philosophy emphasizes focusing on what is within your control and letting go of external validation. Focus on your path. Marcus Aurelius advises, don't waste the remaining part of your life in thoughts about others. Your journey is unique, and comparing it to others detracts from your ability to grow authentically. Practice gratitude. Epictetus teaches, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Shifting your focus to what you already have fosters contentment and reduces the urge to compare. Reframe success. Seneca reminds us, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Instead of envying others' success, see it as evidence of what's possible with effort and preparation.